Most RV owners have never tried these simple hacks, yet some could prevent a highway blowout or save you from a nasty black tank disaster. The worst part is that many RV owners only learn these lessons after something goes wrong, usually miles from home and stuck on the roadside. Before your next trip, here are 15 brilliant RV hacks almost nobody knows about, starting with number 15. Hack number 15, the tennis ball hitching trick. You're trying to hitch up your trailer alone. No spotter, no second set of eyes. You're jumping in and out of the truck 15 times, guessing how close you are, praying you don't slam the hitch into the coupler or miss it completely by 6 inches. Most RVers just accept this frustrating dance every single time they hitch up solo. But here's what experienced full-timers figured out. Take a piece of string about 2 feet long and tie a tennis ball to the end. Tape or clip the other end to the inside of your truck's cab ceiling, positioned so the ball hangs directly in your rear window. When you back up toward the coupler, watch the ball in your mirror. When it touches the rear window, your hitch ball is exactly under the coupler. No more guessing, no more getting in and out of the truck. And here's the kicker. This trick works for gooseneck and fifth wheel hitches too. You just adjust where the ball hangs based on your truck bed's hitch position. What they don't tell you is this exact trick has been used by professional truck drivers for decades. It's not a gimmick. It's a proven line-of-sight solution that turns a 10-minute solo hitching struggle into a 90-second job. And then this happens. Hack number 14. Dielectric grease on every connection. Your trailer lights keep flickering. Your brake lights cut out randomly. Or your 7-pin connector corrodes green and stops working every few months. You keep buying new bulbs and new connectors, and the problem keeps coming back. RV shops will happily replace your wiring harness for $150 or more. But here's what they don't tell you. The problem almost never starts inside the bulb or the wire. It starts with moisture and corrosion at the connection points. Grab a small tub of dielectric grease, about $6 at any auto parts store. Coat the pins of your 7-pin or 4-pin connector before every trip and pack a thin layer onto your battery terminals, your solar connections, and any exposed wire splices under the trailer. Dielectric grease doesn't conduct electricity itself, but it seals out moisture and oxygen, which is what actually causes corrosion. One tub lasts years and can be used on dozens of connection points. And here's the kicker. This same trick prevents your truck's 7-pin socket from corroding too, which is usually the side people forget. What they don't tell you is that a corroded ground connection is the #1 cause of mysterious trailer electrical gremlins, and dielectric grease on the ground wire alone solves most of them. And this next one explains why. Hack number 13. The black tank sensor fix. Your black tank sensor says full when you know it isn't, or empty when the tank is nearly overflowing. Those monitor lights become useless, leaving you guessing when to dump. Dealers may say the sensor board needs replacing, costing over $100, but seasoned RVers know the sensors often aren't broken. They're coated with toilet paper and waste residue that causes false readings. Before your next drive, add a few gallons of water, a cup of dish soap, and a full bag of ice cubes to the black tank. The sloshing ice helps scour the sensor probes and tank walls as you drive. Dump normally when you arrive. Repeat this every few trips to prevent buildup. And here's what many RVers miss. Using too little water in the black tank is a major cause of sensor problems, since solid waste needs enough liquid to break down and flow freely. Next on the list is a name you might recognize. Hack number 12. The water heater bypass valve. It's time to winterize your RV before the cold hits, and the mobile RV service wants $150 to $200 to do it for you. You could do it yourself with antifreeze, but your water heater tank alone holds 6 to 10 gallons, meaning you'd need several extra jugs of RV antifreeze just to fill a tank that's about to sit empty and unused all winter anyway. That's wasted money for nothing. But here's what they don't tell you. Almost every RV has a water heater bypass valve, usually a set of 3 small valves located near the water heater, sometimes hidden behind an access panel. Switch these valves to bypass position, and the antifreeze you pump through your system skips the water heater tank entirely and goes straight to your faucets, toilet, and shower lines instead. This alone can save you 2 to 3 gallons of antifreeze every single winter, which adds up to real money over the life of your RV. And here's the kicker. If you don't have a bypass valve installed, aftermarket kits cost under $30 and take about 20 minutes to install. What they don't tell you is that skipping the bypass and filling your water heater tank with antifreeze anyway can actually damage the anode rod and tank lining over repeated winters. Now let us move to the next entry on the list. Before we continue, there's a reason most of this is knowledge and RV service desk bills at $150 an hour. The complete RV field archive goes where this channel can't. The full playbook, uncut. The habits that keep a rig rolling for decades, and the thousands they save you. The code on your screen gets you in. Scan it, and let's get back to the rig. Hack number 11, the soapy water propane leak test. You smell something faint near your propane connections, or your propane just seems to run out faster than it should. A proper leak detector from the RV store costs $30 to $50, and a full inspection at a service center can run you upwards of $75. Most RV ears just live with the uncertainty, hoping it's nothing. But here's the trick technicians actually use in the field before they even reach for expensive equipment. Mix a few drops of dish soap into a small spray bottle of water. With your propane system on, spray the solution generously over every connection point, the regulator, the hose fittings, and the tank valve. If there's a leak, you'll see bubbles forming and growing at the exact point of the leak within seconds. No leak means no bubbles, and you've just confirmed your system is safe for free. This is the exact same method professional technicians use, just without the markup. And here's the kicker. Keep that spray bottle in your propane compartment permanently, and do this quick check every time you reconnect a fresh tank, not just when something seems wrong. What they don't tell you is that propane leaks are most common at the connection point right after a tank swap, which is exactly when most people skip checking altogether. The next entry shows just how far this idea can go. Hack number 10, the battery disconnect switch. You pull your RV out of storage after a few months, and the battery is completely dead. Again, you've replaced this battery twice now, always assuming it just wore out naturally. RV batteries aren't cheap, running $100 to $300 depending on your setup, and replacing them every year or two adds up fast. But here's what they don't tell you. Even when your RV is sitting parked and turned off, things like the propane detector, the radio memory, and the control panel are still pulling a small trickle of power around the clock. Over weeks or months of storage, that constant drain is what's actually killing your battery, not old age. Installing a battery disconnect switch, which costs $15 to $25 and takes about 15 minutes to wire in, lets you fully cut power to everything with a single flip before you park it for storage. Your battery holds its charge for months instead of weeks. And here's the kicker. This same switch protects you from a much bigger problem: a wiring short slowly draining or even damaging your battery while you're not there to notice. What they don't tell you is that most battery warranties won't cover damage caused by parasitic drain, so this $20 switch can directly save you the cost of an entire replacement battery every single season. Here's another reason worth considering. Hack number 9, the slide-out topper sweep. Leaves, pine needles, and dirt are piling up on top of your slide-out awning, and you can't reach it to clean it off without a ladder and a very awkward angle. Left alone, that debris holds moisture against the rubber seal every time it rains, which is exactly how slide-out leaks start, and repairing a slide-out seal, or the water damage behind it, can cost hundreds of dollars. But here's the hack that RV techs use in the field. Take an old pillowcase or a soft microfiber towel and slide it over the bristle end of a broom, securing it with a rubber band. Extend your slide out fully, then use the covered broom head to gently sweep the debris off the topper from the ground, working from the RV outward so everything falls clear of the seal instead of into it. The soft fabric barrier means you won't scratch or tear the topper fabric the way a bare broom would. Do this every few days when you're camped under trees. And here's the kicker. This same covered broom trick works on your roof's flat sections and around your roof vents, anywhere debris collects that you shouldn't be walking on. What they don't tell you is that a clogged slide-out topper doesn't just risk leaks. The trapped weight of wet debris can also throw off the slide mechanism's alignment over time. Another development pushed things even further. Hack number 8. Re-torque your lug nuts after the first 50 to 100 miles. You just got new tires installed on your trailer or rotated them yourself. Everything seems fine, but weeks later, you notice a loose or wobbling wheel, or worse, hear that awful sound of a wheel separating on the highway. Here's what tire shops rarely mention. Lug nuts on newly mounted wheels should be retorqued after the first 50 to 100 miles, once the wheel has settled. Under load, the metal components can compress slightly, leaving nuts looser than when they left the shop. Grab a torque wrench. Check your RV's specific torque spec in the owner's manual, usually around 90 to 120 foot-pounds, and recheck every lug nut in a star pattern. It takes about 10 minutes per axle. Repeat this after every tire rotation or wheel removal. A wheel coming off at highway speed is often preceded by loose lug nuts that were never rechecked. That leads us to something else. Hack number 7. Moisture absorbers for storage. You open your RV after winter storage and get hit with that unmistakable musty smell. Condensation coats the windows, and mold may already be forming on curtains or inside cabinets. A professional mold remediation or deep clean can cost several $100s, but full-time RVers prevent the problem before it starts. Before storing your RV, place moisture-absorbing containers filled with calcium chloride crystals under the bed, inside closets, in the bathroom, and near windows. At about $8 each, they pull humidity from the trapped air and collect it below. Check and empty them every month or two. Pairing them with a roof vent cracked open slightly creates enough airflow to prevent that stagnant smell. RV interiors trap humidity far worse than houses because there's less air volume and almost no airflow when everything is sealed up for months. Now let's look at something else. Hack number 6. Graphite for sticky RV locks. Your entry door key is getting harder to turn, or your exterior storage compartment locks are grinding and sometimes refuse to open entirely, usually at the worst possible moment. Most people reach for WD-40 or a similar spray lubricant, spray it into the lock, and think the problem is solved. But here's what they don't tell you. Spray lubricants are oil-based, which means they attract dust and dirt over time, especially on an RV that's constantly exposed to road grime. And that mixture eventually turns into a gritty paste that makes the lock worse than before. Take a regular pencil and rub the graphite tip directly onto your key's teeth and grooves until it's coated in gray. Insert and remove the key a few times to transfer the graphite into the lock cylinder itself. Graphite is a dry lubricant, so it never attracts dirt or gums up the mechanism, and it keeps working indefinitely in dusty outdoor conditions where oil-based products fail fastest. And here's the kicker. This trick works on every single lock on your RV, your entry door, your storage bays, your propane compartment, even the padlock on your hitch lock, all with one 25-cent pencil. What they don't tell you is that RV locks fail more often than home locks specifically because of constant vibration and road dust working its way in, which is exactly the environment graphite is built to handle. But the story keeps going. Hack number 5. Reflective covers for heat control. You step into your RV after it's been parked in the sun for a few hours, and it feels like an oven, especially around the cab over bunk or the skylight above the shower. Running your air conditioning on high for an hour just to bring the temperature down burns through your generator fuel or your campground's electrical hookup fast. Most RV owners just accept the heat as part of camping. But here's the hack that seasoned boondockers rely on: reflective foam window covers. The kind that cost $15 to $20 for a full set, cut to your RV's specific windows, block radiant heat before it ever enters the cabin, rather than trying to cool the air after it's already heated up. Place them in your windshield if you have a motorhome, your skylights, and any large west or south-facing windows before you leave for the day. Interior temperatures can run 10 to 15 degrees cooler than an RV left uncovered in direct sun. And here's the kicker. These same covers work in reverse during winter, holding heat inside the cabin at night and cutting down on propane furnace usage. What they don't tell you is that skylights and cab-over windows are usually the single biggest source of heat gain in any RV, simply because they face directly upward into the sun with no shade from an awning. Things start to come together. Hack number 4. Test your breakaway switch battery. This one is genuinely safety critical, and almost nobody checks it. Your trailer has a breakaway switch, that small cable connected to a pin near your coupler, whose entire job is to slam your trailer brakes on automatically if it ever disconnects from your tow vehicle while driving. It's powered by its own small internal battery, completely separate from your main RV battery. Most owners have no idea this battery exists, let alone that it needs maintenance, until the one moment it actually matters and fails to work. But here's what they don't tell you. That Breakaway battery is usually a small 12-volt battery tucked inside a plastic box near the coupler, and it slowly drains and degrades over 1 to 2 years, especially if your trailer sits unused for long stretches. To test it, with the trailer connected and trailer brakes engaged through your controller, pull the breakaway pin while someone watches to confirm the trailer brakes lock. If nothing happens, that battery is dead and needs replacing immediately, for around $15 to $20. And here's the kicker. Many tow vehicle charging systems actually trickle charge this battery automatically while you're driving, so a battery that tests dead after storage often just needs a full day of towing to recharge, but you should never assume that without testing. What they don't tell you is that a failed breakaway system means your trailer becomes a completely unbraked, uncontrolled mass if it ever separates from your hitch, which is exactly the scenario this system exists to prevent. And the next part is just as interesting. Hack number 3, blind spot mirror extenders. You're merging or changing lanes while towing, and your trailer is so wide that your truck's factory mirrors show you almost nothing along its sides. You're relying on guesswork and hoping nothing's in your blind spot, which is an enormous amount of trust to place in a vehicle combination that can stretch 40 feet or more. Dealerships sell full towing mirror replacement kits for $200 to $400. But here's what experienced tow vehicle owners do instead. Clip-on towing mirror extensions, which cost $30 to $60 for a pair, attach directly onto your existing side mirrors and extend your sightline out far enough to see down the entire length of your trailer on both sides. Installation takes about 5 minutes with no tools, and most fold in or detach when you're not towing. And here's the kicker. Pair these with a small stick-on convex mirror in the corner of each extended mirror, and you eliminate almost the entire blind spot along your trailer's rear corners, the exact spot where most towing sideswipe accidents happen. What they don't tell you is that the legal requirement in most states is simply that your mirrors must show the full width of what you're towing, and factory mirrors on most trucks fall short of that the moment you hook up anything wider than the truck itself. That wasn't the only time it happened. Hack number 2, the sewer hose slope cradle. You're dumping your tanks, and your sewer hose is sagging in the middle between your RV and the sewer connection. Waste sits pooled in that low spot instead of draining out fully, which leads to slow drainage, lingering odor, and buildup inside the hose itself over time. RV stores sell dedicated hose support ramps for $30 to $50. But here's the trick that costs almost nothing. Take a length of pool noodle, or even a piece of split foam pipe insulation from the hardware store, and cut a slit down one side. Slide it over your sewer hose at the sagging point and prop it up on anything nearby, a cinder block, a cooler, even a rock. The foam cradles the hose and holds it at a consistent downward slope from your RV to the sewer inlet, letting gravity do its job completely instead of leaving waste trapped in a low point. A single pool noodle costs about $2 and can be cut into several cradles for different sag points along the hose. And here's the kicker. This same setup works even better than some commercial ramps because you can position multiple cradles anywhere along the hose's length, not just at fixed points. What they don't tell you is that hose sag isn't just a smell problem. Standing waste in a sagging hose is one of the leading causes of a hose splitting or bursting from trapped pressure when you're not there to catch it. Let's move ahead. Hack number 1, get a tire pressure monitoring system for your trailer. Your trailer tires look fine every time you glance at them before a trip, but trailer tire blowouts are one of the most common and most dangerous recreational vehicle roadside emergencies. And by the time you can see a tire is low just by looking at it, it's often already too late to prevent a failure. A slow leak can lose pressure gradually over hundreds of miles of driving with zero visible warning, building heat inside the tire until it fails catastrophically, often taking part of your recreational vehicle's siding or undercarriage with it. Most recreational vehicle owners only think about tire pressure monitoring after they've already experienced a blowout. But here's what experienced full-timers do from day one. a wireless tire pressure monitoring system with sensors that screw onto each tire's valve stem and a small display mounted in your tow vehicle, costs $100 to $200 for a full set covering 4 to 6 tires, and it gives you a real-time pressure and temperature reading for every single tire while you drive. If a tire starts losing pressure or overheating, you get an alert immediately, often minutes before it would become a blowout, giving you time to safely pull over instead of losing control on the highway. And here's the kicker. This system also protects your spare, which sits exposed under the trailer for years without anyone checking it, and it works on both the trailer tires and your tow vehicle's tires simultaneously. What they don't tell you is that a blown trailer tire at highway speed doesn't just cost you a tire. It frequently causes thousands of dollars in damage to your wheel well, siding, and undercarriage before you're even able to stop, which makes this one hack the single highest return on investment safety upgrade you can make. If this gave you something to think about, subscribe and see you in the next video.